Peace and blessings to you. My name is Jerry B. I am the EntreMusician, and so are you. Welcome to another exciting episode of the EntreMusician. This is the space where we concentrate on the mindset, discipline, and focus of the EntreMusician. And today's episode, absolutely no exception, as today we are wrapping up our introductory series of this brand new year, for which we have drilled down the three foundational words which define the heart of the EntreMusician. I'll say them again. You've heard them before: mindset, discipline, and focus. No, these are not three cute little words which help to build our brand, nor do they, work well in a marketing campaign. They might, but not ours. These are three intentional definitions that challenge and often threaten us if we dare veer off course. The truth is, you cannot say that you're an EntreMusician if you're operating outside the integral structure of these three words. You will be found out. You will be exposed as a fraud because you are an imposter. You are merely impersonating an EntreMusician, and life will be very difficult for you. I can almost imagine you sitting there going, wait a minute, what's wrong with the little bald brown guy? I mean, seriously, what is he taking this so serious for, right? I mean, this ain't the end of the world. Well, maybe not, my friend. But many a musician have seen their world come crashing down around them. Why? Because they didn't treat their artistry like a business. Some who were very famous and others who became wealthy in some respects, they saw their fortunes crumble because they signed the wrong business deal, or they left their business interests in the hands of their sister-in-law, or sold their soul to a record company. Others tragically gave their lives to alcohol or drugs and a multitude of other addictions that this industry can offer. And they are forever looking for a comeback. Some get it, some don't get the comeback, right? Well, the EntreMusician is quite different. Not perfect, but different. Because some of us are still at the beginning of learning our instruments, and we're shedding hard on our craft, right? While simultaneously increasing our mindset, developing our discipline, and sharpening our focus. Some of us obviously have day jobs, right? We work in offices, warehouses, factories, custodial, what have you. But at night, we're at it, right? Reading, taking classes, recording, singing, building our fan base one by one. We're asking questions, networking, dialoguing with each other, collaborating, and step by step, inch by inch, is paying off. EntreMusicians realize that we cannot rely on our talent alone. Our ability to sing or play the kazoo, whatever we do, might get us in the door, but it won't keep us in the room. No, there's more. There's much, much more. There's a strong sense of character. There's integrity. There's positive attitude. There's a healthy personality, a generous, life-giving spirit. And all of these attributes culminate into what we call around here mindset, discipline, focus. You get it yet? Good. I'm glad. Welcome to the show. We're glad that you could join us, and we're going to have a great time because we are drilling in like mad on this final word that won't leave us alone: focus. We've already dealt very strongly with the mindset, with our discipline. So go back and listen to those episodes on podcasts or watch the videos so you can experience the total package. Today is all about focus. And there's just one more thing about this word that really demands our attention. See, unlike mindset, which is an immovable place, albeit abounding, it's immovable in discipline. Once you have your daily habits intact and you have that unwavering system, you can kind of set those. But focus is a constant that needs to be tweaked continually. And as I said before, we're going to drill in. But before I do, if you don't mind, I would love to change gears real quick and get into today's front burner. Because in a way, I think this topic will go hand in hand with our subject. And although this topic is not necessarily musically creative or musically related, that's the word I wanted to say, I want to get into this topic real hard. And that is on the testicles of the company Twitter. Now, you may or may not know what I'm talking about. And I am going to be as kind and respectful as I can because I think it's a really hardcore element that EntreMusicians should pay close attention to. Because Twitter decided, as you well know, to censor the biggest office in the United States of America. And the other big companies, big tech companies went and did the same and even shut down Parler because they did not agree with their ideology. Now, before you react, please respect the fact that I'm not being political here. Things are polarized enough. And I don't care who you voted for, who you support or don't support. The fact remains that the right to free speech, at least here in the United States, is a constitutional right. And let's just say for a minute that we can substitute whatever was said or whatever was implied or whatever the interpretation. Just imagine for a moment if a song or recording artist was yanked because Twitter or any other big tech company felt like banning it. How would you feel? Or obviously more personally, how would you feel if it was your song or your music or your band that Twitter was taking aim at? How would you feel about that? What if it were a specific genre, classical or country or whatever, rock? And a few billionaires just got together and decided to pull the plug. Some of you may be cool with it. Hey, look, that gives me more room to have my music exposed. But over time, they would yank this genre and that genre and the next until they came for you. Because once the proverbial they have a pattern established, nothing and no one could stop them. History proves that. And they usually do come for you too. Because absolute power corrupts absolutely. And it's usually a very bad strategy to fight corruption by being corrupt. Now, I remember when my band Sound Doctrine had our music playing heavily on the Weather Channel. This was about 2007 to around 2011, and we were starting to see some real royalty checks. Now, around 2010, we released a song called Marriage and featured Reagan Whiteside, wonderful flautist, saxophonist Keith McKelly, and the incredible pianist Cliff Barnes. We submitted that song to the Weather Channel, and their former program director, I don't know if he's still there or not, but his name was Brian, and he phoned me and asked if I could send another mix, but this time without the flute. True story, no exaggeration. He explained that his new boss, the new music director at the time, didn't want any flutes playing on that channel. And I remember the dilemma like it was 5 minutes ago. I mean, obviously this is a far cry from the corruption I'm talking about here. It was a simple request. I mean, we needed the airplay and they were merely asking us to drop an instrument. But I remember thinking about the artistic integrity and wanting the freedom to release the song the way we imagined it, the way we produced it to be. Now, ultimately, for the greater good of everybody, we went ahead, we called on a good friend of ours, Angel Lopez, who put down a wonderful acoustic guitar. We resubmitted the track, and they played it all summer. But still, I got to tell you, there's always been that lingering itch that has asked the question, Jerry, what happens to you when you can be bought for dropping a flute? I mean, what becomes the line of compromise? What if they would have asked us to remove a lyric? That kind of rubbed me. Now, just like you, I have a few favorite genres of music that I love, and I have some genres that I loathe, right? There are songs out there that I feel personally are really horrible, like songs about murder or abusing women or selling dope or other behaviors that I regard as evil. So you know what? I don't listen to it. I don't buy it. I don't stream it. I don't, promote it. If it's on a particular station, I either turn away or I turn it off. But I don't fight for them to not be on the station or try to ban them or cancel it. I just turn it off. Interestingly, everyone has the inalienable right to be stupid. or even to hate another person. Now, I know it's not cool. I'm not endorsing that. It's not the best life. But as long as there is no violence committed against that person, then I'm like, they can think whatever they want or say whatever they want. Now, you may say that the issue at hand had something to do with violence. Yeah, I will concede that. I absolutely do not condone it. But I will also say that those same big tech companies glorify, promote, and participate in the sale and streaming of those murderous songs. So I say, if you're going to uphold one standard, uphold it across the board. The bottom line is censorship in any form is a real recipe for disaster. And every artist, every band, every songwriter, every producer, every singer, every EntreMusician should be well aware. So what about you? I would love to know your thoughts. Please get in touch with us at The EntreMusician and let's have a dialogue about this very hot topic on the front burner. Now, let's get right on point and get to this word focus. This radical word has a 360-degree effect on the EntreMusician. You need to employ it in 5 distinct manifestations. The first manifestation of focus is foresight, which is the ability to predict, sometimes in real time, what will happen or what will be needed in the future. People of faith call this discernment, meaning you can walk into a room or into a situation and you can discern. You can notice and pick up on what other people might not be able to. You can read the room or read the person or read the situation. Often you can tell when someone is not being honest with you or when someone is trying to get over on you. You feel it and you're up on it. And you can perceive in those moments what you need to say or do, or equally, when you should just shut up and listen and just let them talk, right? And as they keep talking, you can see what they are saying. You dig it? It's focus. You can almost envision how a situation would turn out if you do business with that person. Now, confession time for me, I was terrible in this area in my formative years because I like to believe the best in people at all times. That's how I'm wired. I didn't focus on obvious signs which were glaring at me right in my face. I did not possess the foresight to see what was actually happening. And I got bit in the booty many, many times. Now I'm a lot better at listening with my eyes, my discernment, as much as with my ears. I hope you get that. Now, another very positive aspect of foresight is seeing something before you see it. Now, we have discussed this before in a previous podcast entitled, What Do You See? See, we understand that everything that has been created is actually created twice. Once in our imagination or our minds, and then through the hands or through machinery, of course. That melody or rhythm or groove, which began in your heart and mind, it comes through like a download into your spirit and then flows through your fingers and your hands. The same thing with that chair that you're sitting in, right? Or that car you drive, or the home you live in, or the phone you use, everything, right? So you see it before you see it. You see it before you feel it. It's foresight. And the second distinct manifestation, which flows out of this foresight as you sharpen your focus, is called detailed specificity. Can you say that 3 times? I'm not going to try, but detailed specificity. See, the EntreMusician with focused foresight knows exactly what they want. They see it before they see it, but they don't just see it. They see it in 3D. It's not just a stage you're performing on. It's an amphitheater that seats 7,500 people, and the house is jam-packed, and the stage is in the round, and you happen to be wearing your grandfather's wedding ring because you have it like that, right? And you're in your half-baked tuxedo and perhaps your pajama pants, and the whole house is rocking to your latest song. Your drummer is playing barefoot, and she's playing her heart out on her 8-piece studio custom Yamaha kit with the pasty cymbals all around. Your bass player is rocking out like Larry Graham, just thumping and plucking and holding the whole pulse of the band together, and your guitarist is just, oh man, flowing through those chords. That's how you sharpen your visualization. You see it, you're specific about everything. You don't just want a trombone, for example. You want a Yamaha Zeno YSL 8820R because you played that sucker before and you know how it feels in your hand, and you're saving your money up for that because that's heaven and that's where you're going. You understand define specificity and you spread it around your entire life. And you see how much larger you can live because you can better define who you are. You can better define why you're here, where you're going, and what you want. Can you dig it? Now, the third manifestation of focus that flows out of this defined specificity is called insight, which is the capacity to gain an accurate, deep, intuitive understanding of a person or thing. Now, the Holy Scriptures talk about a group of men called the sons of Issachar who understood the times and knew what Israel should do. Now, I want to be like that. I want to be like a son of Issachar. I don't want to be like everyone else and just reacting to a situation. I want to take the time to look deeply, to think deeply, and to respond most appropriately. Now that I can see what I want, and this might sound a little woo to you, okay, but now that I can see what I want, now that I know why I want it, now that I know who I am, I can employ insight into my person, into my calling, into my purpose, into my mission. And although my vehicle is just simply music, I mean, that's how it emanates through me. For me, it's far more spiritual than that. There's a blessing that I am bestowing on the person who's listening to whether the song, I'm writing the song, or whether I'm recording the song, whether I'm producing for someone else. I feel it's my gift of love, my gift of peace, a healing vibration from me to them that's just gushing out of my spirit. It's like communion with a person I've never even met yet. Now, don't freak out on me. Listen, even when I was putting this studio space together, the audio portion and the video portion, by God's grace, I was blessed to be able to get all I needed, all the software, hardware, cameras, mics, all of it. But I can remember praying at the altar, which is right in the middle of the studio. It's right over there. And there was a deeper meaning as I was praying. I knew as all this was coming together, it was not just to make good music. Yeah, that's a part of it. It's not just to push the EntreMusician and further that along with great interviews and videos. That's part of it. But there's a more important work to be done. And I have the insight that God is going to continue to reveal to me what that is. So I'm ready for it when the time comes. Now, that may sound a little bit loony to you, maybe, but tell me, what is your focused insight about your life, about your work, about your art, about your career? Now, if you know, excellent, great. But if you don't know, then why not? See, don't knock me until you get your own. And you can. Don't knock her, don't knock him until you have your own. That's what we're talking about here, insight. Now, the fourth manifestation of focus is reality. You gotta have balance, right? I mean, you have to see where you are right now to determine where you go from here. You gotta be able to define here. Do you really know? I mean, what do you bring to the table by way of resources, education, experience, cash flow, or connections that will enable you to take the next steps? I mean, because the next steps are not leaps and bounds all the time. No, it's one tiny foot in front of the other. Well, you've heard about the overnight success that takes 30 years, right? That's reality, baby. Don't get in such a hurry. Know where you are. Take the next step, learn, grow, and then take the next step. And then you rinse and repeat. You do it all over again. See, reality often forces us to make some of the most difficult decisions of our lives. Perhaps even sacrificing our dream for a while, needing to set it up on the shelf while we handle life right now. And I remember when my two youngest daughters were small, they were 7 or 4 or something. And my eldest daughter was already away at college. And again, sound doctrine. My band, we were traveling Philly, DC, Virginia, Delaware, New York, even out to LA once. And I'm calling my wife from all of these places. And, she's home alone with my babies, and I'm in some hotel or at a sound check or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, baby, it's like this, da-da-da, and could you put Nia on the phone? Hi, Nia. Hey, Daddy loves you. Hey, put your sister on. Hi, Jan. Daddy loves you. And it was like that for a while, and then I had to ask myself, do I want my daughters to really know me? I mean, I already made a couple of mistakes with my eldest daughter, so what's going to happen here? I can get the fame, right? I can get the fortune. Our band was on our way. But then I'll be a man on the road without a family. And then when I get home, maybe they won't be there. Or worse, maybe they will be there. But they'll wish I was back on the road because, dude, who are you anyway, right? That's reality. And it really hit home when my mom passed away because my mom diligently raised her kids. She raised her children, and I needed to raise mine. I wanted to raise them. So I came off the road, got a job, started teaching and picking up odd things to do whatever I could to put food on the table. I knew this dream had legs, right? And now my daughters are all grown. My time is more flexible. My wife loves me. My girls love me. They are my strongest encouragers. Now, why am I telling you all of this? I'm not doing it to get all syrupy. I'm not doing it to look for your sympathy. Hey, look at what I did. No. The EntreMusician is about real life, real choices, and the moves you have to make to survive, to strive, to thrive. It's not always ABC 1, 2, 3. Sometimes it's A, B, C, D, E, B, A, C, F. I mean, right? It's like that. Finally, the final manifestation of focus is reflection. And reflection is not something that you just tack on the end of the process. It's employed all the way through. Listen, did you hear me back there? A, B, C, D, C, A. You're taking the time out through each phase and every turn to ask the questions. What did I learn from this? What needs to be changed? Is this helping me or hurting me? Boy, that was stupid. How can I improve that so that that never happens again? Oh, dang, it happened again. Well, perhaps I tweaked the wrong thing. Perhaps it's a wrong member on the wrong seat on the bus. Maybe I need to make a change. Or maybe that member was me and I need to apologize. You dig? This is the truth about focus. The EntreMusician constantly evaluates his or her direction and changes course when or if necessary, being careful to engage foresight, detailed specificity, insight, reality, and reaction and reflection over and over and over again. So that's it. That's the skinny on the third word, which defines the EntreMusician, an important word, focus. And I really do mean it when I say I want to hear from you. Let us know what you think. Comment, like, subscribe, share, go to the EntreMusician. Tell me, did I miss a step on focus? Or what are the components of all three words for you? What's your mindset? What's your discipline? What is your focus? You can also check us out on VIZD. I love pulling this up because we're part of a wonderful family, the VIZD family. I know you're listening on one channel or watching on one channel, but check us out if you have a Roku TV. I also want to say that we're no longer on Patreon. I know that was a very short-lived thing, but I felt that our subscription model works much better at the EntreMusician. So come and partner with us there and stay in touch with us. We always respond 100%. And, we do hope that these videos are providing you the value you're looking for. We love hanging out with you. We love sharing our resources and what we know, okay? And we love to learn from you as well. Hey, let me bless you before we leave here, okay? And if you don't want the blessing, then you pass it on to somebody else. But it says, may you win, my friend. May you prosper, grow, and succeed. May you completely fulfill your purpose on this earth with more than enough time to enjoy your life. May your problems be few. May your celebrations be many. As you live out your dreams, in the name of my Lord Jesus Christ, I freely give that to you. I'm so grateful that you hang out with us. Tell everybody you know and tell 12 people you know that you're an EntreMusician and what it means to be one. Thank you so much. My name is Jerry B. I am an EntreMusician, but so are you. We will see you next time. God bless.